What's going on, guys? In the shop here, Saturday night. Firebird is officially indoors for the first time in its 40-year stint being parked. I pressure washed the outside just to really see what I'm dealing with, you know, get all the moss that was growing off of it. I mean, it's rough. If you could see, those are rust holes. Left the glass in just because I don't want to deal with that this second, but that's ready to come out. Back here, this panel's gone. I mean, it's gonna need a new roof. It's really heavily pitted. I mean, it's solid, but it's pitted real heavy, so I'm not sure. Maybe just replacing around the edges or go with the whole roof. This line right here is where the body panel, and you could actually see where it's coming apart right here, where the body panel with this lower fender, right, the rear fender is attached to the roof, goes right along here. So this has got to be some old Bondo that they put on the factory. The rear deck, I believe this is called. Well, that's not a rear deck anymore. Got some rust holes on the trunk lid. Sorry. If you look over here at the fenders, I mean, the front of this fender, I mean, it's got some holes in it. And let's see if I can get you right up in there. Let me get a light to do this with. So, I mean, that's the front of the fender. That's the rear of the fender. There's a cavern underneath the rocker. But oddly enough, I mean, as bad as it looks, the rocker itself on top is pretty solid till you get back here, and that's gone, and floor panel underneath it is gone. I so the story goes, I pulled out the carpet in the front, and it's there, but there's some ventilation in it for sure. This is all gonna have to come out. Maybe we'll get it all done tonight. Maybe I'll take my time with it. You can see the radiator core support here is just, I mean, that's just, you know, it just makes it go faster when it's got all the holes in it. And I don't know, let me see if I get the light right for this. That is the original sticker on the air cleaner. This car, I mean, it's complete. It's all there. It's seized. I'm pretty sure it's seized. Right now I have penetrating oil on the spark plugs, so I can take those out without cracking them. But, you know, the car was parked, I believe, in '79. And it's not in bad condition. It's really not. The rubber's rock hard, but it's all still here. Carburetor seized up. Yep, that's not going anywhere. See if there's any brake fluid in it. I'll get a screwdriver for that. I'm gonna pull the rest of the interior out of it, just to see, you know, floors are all, look, you can see the hole in that driver's side. It's just, there's nothing there. And actually, looking now, the entire tunnel is gone. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pull out all of this and see what's left of the floor. And I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can see, the guy stuffed the holes of the vents with tissues so that things won't get in there. Interesting. So yeah, it's gonna take a lot to really just dig out all the shit from this car. And I shouldn't curse, but you just see she's rusty. You know, some parts are good, some parts are great, some parts are gone. No. Let's see here. That window when I go down. Oh, look at that. Oh, probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, all right. That's about an update with this thing. And I had some hope because this window just mint. Just awesome. Wheels are all seized. No amount of banging on those drums is gonna get them loose, so I gotta pretty much break them to get them off. I gotta get keys made for it so I get the ignition unlocked. Okay, the inner fender rails still have black paint, are as solid as could be. Radiator looks good, and I mean, there's even washer fluid still in this. There's still washer fluid on the bottom of that reservoir, which is awesome. Let's see if I get a pair of something to open up the brake reservoir. I'm gonna guess it's empty. There we go. Shop's a mess right now. I gotta clean it up. I'll show you what I started on, but let's see. I'm gonna guess it's gonna come this way. There we go. Huh? Let's see. Y'all could see inside there. See, the plastic is... This is what I'm saying, that it's been parked for so long, because look at that. That's still perfectly new. Still some fluid in the front of reservoir, more gook than anything else. It's empty. The hood's just trash, but you look underneath and maybe I could get a skin for it. I don't know. I really don't know any of this stuff. Truth of the matter is, I started neating everything up out of Walmart tools. And yeah, so I'm not a mechanic. I have no background in this stuff other than fixing my own cars. I didn't go to school for it. I've never worked for an auto mechanic shop. And I learn new things every day. Once I've taken something apart once, I'll remember how I did that and be able to replicate it. So this is all for fun, you know? I mean, I got a business that I run during the day, and I got a wife at home, and a shop that, you know, I'm blessed to have this space. You know, I got a lift that's got to go up right here where the Firebird sitting, and I got to push the Firebird over into this section here. I found this. I have one of these. The old owner used to be a Jaguar enthusiast, so he had a couple of these. I found one. I'm just letting it sit on the floor so it straightens out. Another thing I just picked up, this is a 9,000 pound super winch. Guy on Facebook Marketplace had it for 150 bucks, I think I got it for. And it's real nifty. It'll go right into the tow hitch. Class A. We don't mess around here. It's got a quick connect on it, so I got to buy another quick connect and run some cables so I can put a battery on it. And you know, I was looking the jumper cables with a quick connect, like 85, 100 bucks just for the cables. So not sure if I'm going to do that or just buy a jump pack and run it off a jump pack instead of running off the battery of a truck or whatever. Not sure what I'm going to do there. And yeah, you know, just figuring everything out as I go. It's not like I have a plan. Like, this is my bodywork table. You know, I got my waxes, I got my sanding paper, my little Bondo, and there's random stuff. I do a little bit of bodywork here and there. And, you know, my plan is to spend over the course of the next few years just dive deep into these little projects until, one, I got all the tools I need to keep doing it, and two, to really have an understanding of what I'm doing instead of just fumbling around. And that's a lot of what I do right now. I mean, that's why it's called DIY speed. I've always owned, you know, older cars. I had an 84 Pontiac Parisian that I did a lot of work on and drove all over the country. 88 G20 van, like the 18 van, you know. And 1990 Cadillac Brougham d'Elegance, that was my dad's car, and you know, we tinkered on it left and right. And I remember as a kid, we had a 67 Mustang in orange in the garage for a couple of years, and he had his reasonings for selling it. But you know, I always look back, a Rust 67 with the original 289 in it. Would have been nice if that thing was still around. It'd be nice if the old man was still around too, but you know, way she goes. It's just life. I can set the camera down for now. We get back to work for a bit, putting ATF in here and ATF in there, and maybe I'll pull the seats out so I can keep pulling carpet out. I don't know. We'll see what I get done. So fella did the right thing and pulled the plugs out, and look at that. They're clean. I mean, it wasn't running rich, not soaked in oil or carbon rather. Not a whole lot of rust inside them, if any at all, inside the cylinders. Like usually, if there was water got in the engine, I mean, you see corrosion and rust on these, I'm pretty sure. So what I did, oh, that's not gonna be helpful. What I did is I soaked all the cylinders on this side with penetrating oil. I'm gonna throw the plugs back in it because I don't want to cause more oxidization. Those are, in theory, those have been closed chambers for 40 years, right? So they're not super rusty. In order to avoid oxidization, coat it with oil, let them sit. I'm gonna throw the plugs back in there, and I'll loop back around tomorrow, and then I'll dump the ATF in. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the plugs back in it on this side, and then go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And yeah, then I'll move on to the next thing I can get done tonight. Pull the seats out of it. And well, I got good news and bad news. I guess I don't have to cut out much of the floor pans because Time already did that for me. This side's a good side too. Look at that. Just look at it. Oh. I got that side cleared. Let's go over here. And here, it just feeds into this car being parked while relatively new. Check that out. Check that out. Just so cool. I mean, I don't mean new, but if the car is a 69, was it 50 years old or so, and it spent, 40 of those years parked. So driver's side, there's some rust holes there. I guess it'll make it real easy for me to get into neutral because I can just stick my hand in the side of the tunnel and hit the shift linkage from there. But yeah, it's trashed. It's completely trashed. Breathed in probably a lot worse than coronavirus. Shouldn't say that. I breathed in a lot worse than what's been floating around this year. Just sticking my head in here, even though I did have a bit of a mask on. Well, questionable how well that worked. But that's it for now. I'll show you a little bit on this bike. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Shined up a bit on it. I got that open. It's pretty cool. Ended up using an oil filter wrench, one of those big round things. Put it right on there and boop, came right off, no problem. So I guess that was a good hack. Didn't damage it at all. Here's the seats that came out of it, and I mean, they're totally salvageable. Like, you know, I could totally do something with that. But here we are. Got to be somewhere around 2 o'clock in the morning, if not later. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.